Hello, my name is Katie Rowe, and today I would like to show you a really fun activity to help your students better understand how to add integers, or positive and negative numbers. For this activity, you're going to need a boatload of integer tiles, both positive and negative, that you'll give to each student. After that, you're going to make sure that the students have a flat surface to work on that can be divided down the middle. This could be a piece of paper, their desk with duct tape down the middle, or in my case, I used a simple folder with a line I drew. Once all the materials are passed out and the students are ready to go, double check and make sure that your students understand the concept of what are opposites. Have them give you a few examples, and when you feel like they are ready and that they know what opposites are, move on into the activity. Alright, so now that we have all our materials, let's start with a few example problems with each student. To start, let's do a positive plus a positive since it is the easiest. So here on my flat surface or my building mat, I have 4 positive tiles and also 2 positive tiles. So written out, that would look like a positive 4 plus a positive 2. What I would have my students help me give examples of certain problems, but just for right now, I'm just doing this example by myself. What my students would help me do is also, they would help me add how many positive numbers I have total. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to give me a positive 6. Next, I would also do an example with adding 2 negatives together. So a negative plus a negative. For my example problem, I have negative 5 plus a negative 3, which would then give me negative 8. So how that would look would be, I have negative 5 on the one side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the other side, I have negative 3, 1, 2, 3, and altogether I get a negative 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After students got that and we did a few more problems if needed, I would then move into a negative plus a positive integer. My example I have for that today is negative 2 plus a positive 4, which will then eventually give me a positive 2. But to make sure students understand how that happens, you want to make sure you use your tiles. So I have a negative 2 tiles, and then on the other side I have 1, 2, 3, 4 positives. Now, students are probably going to be wondering, how could I add a negative plus a positive? Well, you need to make negative or 0 pairs. So what that means is taking your negatives or any signs that are opposites of each other, so a positive is opposite of a negative, and putting them on each other and taking them out of the picture. So what we essentially just did there was we canceled out the positive and the negative, basically neutralizing it with one, and then we did the same with another, and that was adding it together. So our remainder are 2 positives. Now that we went through those 3 practice problems of adding a positive plus a positive, a negative plus a negative, and a negative plus a positive, it's now time for your students to practice what they've learned. Split your students into partnered pairs and give them a worksheet that has multiple different problems about adding integers. A way to do this is called Rally Coach. Student A is the student who is doing the work, and student B is the coach. Student B is responsible to tell student A helpful suggestions, hints, and answer any questions that student A has. They work together, and when they solve the problem correctly, they both do a cheer or say good job to each other. Then they switch roles for the next problem. So the coach becomes the worker, and the worker becomes the coach. That's that for the Rally Coach activity. I hope that I helped you better understand how to teach your students how to add integers, positive and negative numbers. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.